Hi, in this tutorial we will learn how to indent first word. It's like in all textbooks, maybe you have some kind of requirement in your school or university for that when you're dealing with your HTML pages. Rarely you'll run into that kind of thing, but still it's good to know that you can do that using CSS and not HTML. There is a way in pure HTML, but it's really messy, so CSS is really good stuff for this. Property will be text indent, and value will be given into pixels, 5 pixels for example. Result will be this, and if you use for example 35, result will be a little more obviously obvious. So the next property is letter spacing and word spacing. Really simple and self-explanatory. Letter spacing, the difference, horizontal difference between letters in a specific word. Property will be letter spacing, and value will be given into pixels, of course. 5 pixels. So this is the result. It can look a little bit cryptic, so don't use it much. 1, 2, 3, that's acceptable. It depends what you're doing, but if you mix too much of letter spacing and word spacing, your text can become really unusable, unreadable. Yeah, for example 15 pixels. See, too much. Let's say we will use 1 pixel. Nice. And the next thing is word spacing. For example 10 pixels, which is too much, but let's try that. So can you imagine this kind of text on web page? Totally unusable. Don't do that. 10 pixel letters and words will give you this mess. If you wanna have a little bit fun with your coworker or whatever, just send them this text and say some text and say, can you read this, on transfer this to something else, or use or translate this to some other language. I don't know, you can play around with people in so many ways using computers, but don't overdo it, okay, especially at workplace. 1 pixel and 5 pixel. Of course, these changes are automatically applied. For example, let's create yet another paragraph. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, nothing big. See, automatically applied. Really simple and good stuff. Can you imagine doing this into pure HTML with some scripting language? You will lose your hair completely. So CSS is really good stuff. And the best stuff is that you can on one simple place change all of this. So in the last 2 lessons we have learned 6 new properties, and yeah, you can beautify our text a lot with these 6 new properties. So as always, thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial.